Joining me now from Warsaw is Marta Prochwicz-Jazowska. She is a program manager with the German Marshall Fund. And I want to thank you for weighing in here on what was really an incredible visit, profound significance. But I'm wondering how this was received in Poland and Eastern Europe, where, you know, the war is literally on your doorstep.
That's right. Thank you very much for having me. And good morning to Europe. Yes, the visit to Kyiv yesterday was just as big of a surprise as to anybody in the world. And the feelings that the Poles are sharing right now are very much akin to those shared by Ukrainians. So first of all, there's a great feeling of surprise that this visit that he was able to travel to a war zone where American military is not stationed, and admiration for his act of personal courage, and also the reassurance that Poles and Ukrainians and Europeans feel towards the American administration, showing its resolve in this war.
You know, we're looking at some of the images now, and while the sunshine, of course, couldn't be planned, it wasn't no less prolific there, both of them standing in the light. I want to know, though, do you accept that perhaps this visit, you know, gave Putin perhaps a propaganda win of his own? Because he has said to Russians, or he will say to Russians, certainly his allies have said to Russians, look, we're not just battling Ukraine here. We are battling the United States and all its European allies.
Of course, you could, when you look at it from the Russian propaganda perspective and the way that they've spun this story, they didn't even need this particular visit in order to portray this war in the way that they're showing it to through their internal propaganda to Russians. Basically, they're portraying it as a proxy war of Russia against the United States, which is completely false. And this visit is analyzed in this light, of course, and I'm very keen to see, this is of course a developing story, and I'd like to see what President Putin will today say in his address, as you mentioned before. But at the end of the day, what we saw is the leader of the free world going into a country that 1 year ago was on the way to being invaded by Ukraine, but managed to withhold that invasion, to not let the Russians take over their territory. And that is what really should be taken out from the story, that now Biden is showing that Ukraine has withheld this invasion, and that he is capable of going to Ukraine and standing there while Putin is not able to leave his country and is hiding away.
Yeah, it certainly reinforced the very pillars of Ukrainian sovereignty and everything that will be done to protect it. I want to ask you, though, about European unity. I mean, arguably, it's been very impressive so far, and those are the key words. You know, especially in places like Poland, is there a worry that some other European allies may waver?
No doubt. There is a sense of a bit of a fear of this wavering perhaps happening. However, this is a feeling that has been ongoing since the start of the war. And what we've seen so far, thanks to the push, also thanks to Poland's push, to the push of the entire eastern flank, but with Poland playing a very special role here, is to make sure that other European countries that do not perceive this threat from Russia, an aggressive Russian foreign policy in such an existential way, in order for them to understand that it is an existential threat. And so we've managed throughout this year to really move the needle on many things that we thought were unthinkable. Arms deliveries from Germany and European Union pulling together procurement in defense, which was unthinkable until now, and the United States coming back as a superpower, a leader in Europe, which in the previous era, under the Trump administration, was very much doubted. So since we've already seen so much move in this direction, I do believe that there's a very strong case to make that a lot can still be achieved. in the upcoming future. And this is a war that is transforming the mentalities, not just the defense budgets, but the mentalities of Western Europeans towards this military threat, and away from what they thought was time of peace, the end of history, the peace end, and we didn't have to worry about our defense spending. So much has happened. And I can see this going forward in the right direction, despite the fears.
And we will, as you point out, hear more from Joe Biden in the coming hours there from Warsaw. Marta, thanks so much. Appreciate it.